You need to see this as an opportunity to reset the debate about immigration, because if you talk to the public, they still think immigration is rising. I am actually very concerned to understand why it's falling, because there is a consequence. These are people legally coming to this country who pay taxes when they come here, who contribute, creating growth. And I think one of the really important challenges for me is that we have a much more evidence and informed debate about immigration. Actually, if you look at those figures, there is an argument that now more people are leaving the country than coming to this country if you remove students. And I think most people would understand people coming here to study, you know, higher education is one of our greatest exports. People come here to study and then they leave. We need to understand the consequence of that for our economy. What Paul's talking about there is what's called the lump of labour fallacy. People aren't coming here to take jobs. They're coming here making jobs. They are the doctors, the nurses, the caregivers within our NHS, within our social care, as well as our neighbours and our friends. And what this shows, I think, is that you can manage migration numbers well. You can be clear about the case in which someone gets a visa. That's why I'm concerned about changing visas retrospectively. I just don't think that's a fair thing to do. If someone's come here, they've got a job, they're contributing to our society, they are those doctors, they're helping our NHS, then absolutely we should be supporting them. What I think this also shows to reform is, as ever, the problem isn't immigrants, the problem is politicians. If we're not honest about the data and the evidence, and what I hope this does is give us that conversation. Like I say, if you actually look at the student numbers and the asylum cases, and I do recognise there's a different case on asylum, more people are leaving this country than coming to this country. That ought to spark a conversation with us about the kind of economy and the kind of consequences that might have for our tax take, because otherwise we are going to face some very difficult choices that will be driven by reform. As with Brexit, long on fiction, short on fact, and we're all going to pay the price eventually.